What's up, people? I'm live. There's a little light on the situation. I figure I'm going to find this. I've been looking for the announcement where this is playing. I know it's 1:45. It's supposed to be at 1:30. It still hasn't started, which is kind of, common. So, yeah, I'm just looking to figure out where this is streaming from. Trump is supposed to be making a big announcement regarding investments today. So that's what I'm waiting on. I'm a little loopy because I just got done donating blood today. So yeah, I'm a little mixed up. But market is correcting right now after this major pump we had, these God candles yesterday. And so that's been interesting to say the least. Like, what does that mean? What's happening? So hopefully this will give us some insight as to what's going on. And yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to find out what's going to be streaming this. I've got the Hill up. They're saying that's coming shortly. It's just anything you punch in, man. It's all these like propaganda mediums that are popping up. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're just waiting for this live broadcast to start so that we can talk about it. What did I miss? Nothing. You haven't missed anything yet. Crow your coins. You always loopy. Hardy har. 10 billion each in cardamom XRP, but what do you think the upside of FLDT is? Great builders on ADA seems very undervalued. I think Cardano is very undervalued right now. I honestly believe that there's a pretty strong element of manipulation that's going on right now, quite frankly. Bitcoin's basically working its way back for really no apparent reason that I can tell. Let me see here. No. Is that okay? So we've got this for when that's ready. I wonder if we can make that a little smaller. It sucks waiting for these things, especially when they're supposed to have been done a long time ago. But I mean, you can see we're getting, oh boy, we're getting we're getting some downward momentum here. We're all the way back down to 87,400. And it's just kind of blowing my mind a little bit. But the thing is that there was another CME futures gap that was created in the pump because it happened on the weekend. And so when the price pumps like that on a weekend, when the markets aren't able to really react, they got to make sure they get their time. And I'm trying to find it. Where it is. Everything reset on me, so I've been just kind of figuring out what's going on here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a CME futures gap that we're probably getting ready to close right now, and I'm assuming that we're doing that prior to this announcement. And then hopefully once the announcement happens, we start taking off again, and then everything's back to normal. But I'm not sure. Cardano's holding pretty steady though, honestly. I mean, all things considered, Cardano's just bouncing around in the 80s, 90s. So that's really not terrible. Let me see. Where is it? Can't even remember what these tickers are. No, I don't want interest open, interest all. That's a bunch of gobbledygook. Hold on. Family group. Pies? Is that it? I can't remember. No, that's obviously not it. Dang it. I had all this stuff bookmarked and I just can't remember. Is this it? This should be it. All right. So yeah, so we're basically, so we created another CME futures gap right here. That's been filled. And let's see here. So that was filled for the most part. I guess we had a little bit down to go. So yeah, the CME futures gap, I guess, didn't fill 100%. Maybe that's what they're trying to push for right this moment. But then in the process of the price coming up, I thought there was another one, but I'm not seeing that on a 4-hour. So I don't know, maybe that's gobbledygook, but there should have been some form of gap. I don't know what's happening. I really am a little loopy at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. I just ate a pizza. To refresh this, I just ate a pizza and a shake to try and get my blood sugar and everything situated again. Why do they always schedule this stuff and then take forever to get it going? It's 1:52 already. Yeah, everybody's waiting for the event to begin. So I'll just wait and see who starts it first, and then I'll share. That's all I can do. I've got two different casts going, waiting. So we'll see what happens. Nvidia looks nasty. CME drinking tea, Bitcoin, Cardano to $10. Bought some ADA with my tax refund Saturday and was happy by Sunday. Can't wait for the Kopi God candle. Yeah, I got it. I got the CME futures, but it's not doing a whole lot. Make sure you check the links in the description for my supporters and everybody. And probably this week, I'm going to go back into my Cardano governance and see what kind of proposals there are. I need to go and check your comments as well. I've had a really, 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 really not so great week. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening, not crypto related, but it's just, it's been really, really difficult week for me, and still kind of getting through it, but we're working on it. The news yesterday was definitely great. I mean, that was really, really great. I needed that. Really needed that. So let me take another quick. Oh, there it is. So we're in the process of filling this now. So once Bitcoin gets back down to around 85 grand, then about 85.7. So that makes sense. It was confusing to look at, but you can see the price was moving up, and then boom, we had this big lurch all the way back up to like 95,000, and it created this huge gap. So we're basically in the process of filling that now. So once Bitcoin reaches basically about this level, then we will have filled that CME futures gap, and then hopefully we can bounce off of that. And my guess is that that's what we're in the process of trying to accomplish at the moment. I don't know what they're essentially expecting the announcement today to affect, but it's obvious that they're expecting something. So that's kind of what we're waiting to find out. So they might try to fill that gap in like while we're waiting. Market makers moving, everybody's moving, institutions doing everything they can. I would love to find out more. Oh, I will give you guys some insight too on something I was working on today, this morning. I was asked, man, I'll tell you guys what, if you're not using Grok 3 is just amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. And I was using it to basically figure out how to create a predictive analytical bot. And I was able to build it. I built it. It's working. I built it using bolt.new. And because I've been trying with different platforms, and bolt.new not only made it, but made it with an interface that actually looks pretty decent. And so the only thing I don't have, which I really need, is a Glassnode API. And I don't want to spend $1,000 a month to experiment with this. So if any of you guys have a Glassnode API I can borrow for a little bit, let me know. I'll send you a zip of the bot. But it's pricey, man. I've emailed them a couple times. They never respond. So I'm like, whatever. Because Glassnode just has so much data that I would really love to be able to feed into the machine learning algorithm and like use that to structure things. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with this thing I built. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to do. So, well, welcome, Foul Grace Retriever. I'm glad you finally caught me live as well. I can't believe it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon already. 3,400 people viewing. Get it, Crow. Yeah, I mean, I just, man, it's just right now until things really start kicking off. I'm trying to pinch pennies, man. I really am. I'm trying to hold on because I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I have a pretty good idea. I've been very accurate, but like with everything else, you just never know 100% what to expect. And so I don't want to count my chickens before they've hatched, so tired of the market constantly dropping. Get good news, and the next day, boom, back down again. Where's the real bull market? I hear you. I hear you. I feel it too, man. I feel it. Just because I'm on here on YouTube and I'm on the other side of this screen does not mean I do not feel every bit of the pain you guys feel. So, yeah, I'm really trying to use the time and to kind of channel my anxieties into more positive things in the interim. Like, learning as much as I can about AI, learning as much as I can about just different things. Like I'm trying to learn how to create apps using AI, useful tools, things of that nature. And just trying to keep a little bit ahead of the curve, so that should I ever really need to dive into something, I've at least got a pretty decent understanding. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just learning. I really want to learn Unreal Engine 5.5. I've got 3 different big books on that. I've been experimenting a little bit with tutorials. Most tutorials are trash though. And it's weird because, everything moves so fast. You can find a tutorial that's exactly what you want, but there's always stuff missing or doesn't work anymore because it's already been outdated if it's like 2 months old. So, but I have this game idea that I really want to build and I want to try and do it on my own. And so I'm trying to do it in Unreal and using a lot of different tools. Right now I'm at the world building thing, which actually reminds me, I want to look some stuff up while I'm in my office today. So I'm going to open that up and throw it right there. So everybody's still waiting for this event. It's just like, come on. Trump makes investment announcement as he prepares speech to Congress. So I'm curious. I'm assuming that the speech is supposed to basically be about like the debt ceiling and how they want to utilize some of the money that they're pushing the debt ceiling up for. And I think they're basically pitching Congress on how much money needs to go where. So we may get an idea as to what the administration is wanting to do in terms of this digital asset reserve and how much money they're looking to put into it. So, read the comments. It has already been released. What's been released? Oh, I think I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. What happened with Wargrim? Waiting on Eli, honestly. I mean, Eli has been doing different things, but he was trying to get some extra rounds of capital to finish it. And I guess that just didn't work out for whatever reason. And then we thought, well, what if we just launched it as an alpha and then let everybody play it using the starter set and then use the capital from that to finish it out. But I don't know if that's not enough to get his interest or something. I'm not sure what's happening, honestly. He's kind of just doing his own thing, so we're just kind of waiting. He says some things and then goes away for a month, says some things, goes away for a month. I just don't think it's a big priority for him, and I'm not quite sure what to do about it at this point yet, because we have something we could launch. He said he was packaging it to get it ready for launch, but I haven't seen anything yet. So that's where I'm at. That's one of the reasons why I just hate working with people, quite frankly, because just everybody does whatever they want on their own whim, and typically it's me paying for it somehow. And I'm just so tired of people. I really am. I'm just tired of it. One way or another, though, I'm going to figure it out. I'm only going to let things go so far before I start taking matters in my own hands. Now, I know what Scott's talking about. Apparently, there was a document that was either leaked or released, kind of breaking down what the meeting is about in some detail. But you never really know 100% until it happens. And that's why I think everybody's waiting. We're all waiting for this. And so, yeah, that's what's going on. I'm going to make this box really small. And then, let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to make this really small for now, just so you guys can see. We're waiting. Biggest mistake this cycle, listening to BitBoy and moved Ada to Pith. Blah. I know it's not too late, but still blows. I mean, guys, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Hopefully you get that resolved. Got to have people who share the same passion. It's really difficult to find people that share the same passion. So, I mean, it's difficult because every developer works kind of like a mercenary. I mean, they really do. It's that I feel like they're code mercenaries. They have an ability set they know is in high demand. They are always going to the highest dollar. It's just, and there's a lot of things that they're able to do to kind of I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm kind of burnt out on it at the moment. I'm just kind of, every single time I try to do something that involves other people, I ultimately end up getting screwed somehow. And I'm just so sick of it, man. And it's just everybody wants you to just dump so much money into them. And then and nobody wants to. I mean, look at what happened with Soblox and my developer there. He totally conned me. At this point, he screwed me so hard. He didn't complete a single one of the major systems that were mapped out in the plan. And he just kept begging me for more money. Oh, I need more money. Oh, my wife this. Oh, my kids that. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, this. Oh, that. I mean, and I just kept pumping money into him, man. When are you going to get this done? When are you going to get this done? And I'm just so sick of being manipulated by these people. I really am. Honest to God, I hope AI takes the jobs of all these people. I really do. Sounds terrible. Sorry if you're a programmer, but you're unreliable. You're generally not very honest. And I've had so many encounters with developers for this or that or another thing for 25 years, and I don't know if I've met a single honest one yet. And that's just the truth. I feel like everybody's got their hands out and nobody wants to actually do what they're being paid to do. And as long as they think they can get away with it, they will absolutely try, which is why I'm getting to a point now where, I'm just gonna just blanket sue as many people as I need to. I mean, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the moment, because it's like, if shit isn't gonna get done, and I'm gonna keep. I'm just not even gonna turn this into a rant video. But fuck them right up against the wall is how I feel about it at this point. I'm sick of it. So, yay AI. I've done more with AI in like a week than I've paid some people to do in months. And paying them thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in some instances. So, is what it is. Cardano price prediction. I'm still hoping for $8. I'm still planning for $8. I think anything is possible right now, but I really do think that the markets are being wildly manipulated at the moment. And we'll see. We'll see what the end result is. But I think that a lot of these major whales, these institutions, a lot of these people, they know what's happening. They know what the goals are. They know fundamentally what's coming down the pipeline with this new administration. And I really believe that a lot of these guys are manipulating the market to try and keep prices as low as possible for as long as possible while they continue to accumulate. And that's it. That's all there is to it. And then I think there's going to get to a point where they just can't anymore. The problem is that so much of legacy media is garbage. I mean, they will push any kind of propaganda, misinformation, whatever you want to call it. They will push whatever narrative is going to benefit the people paying for their advertising. And that's it. And that's the way I look at it. So, and everybody keeps screaming like, yay, institutions are in and this and that. But the more institutions enter our space, the space that we've been a part of and literally have been working for, bleeding, crying, sweating, everything. I mean, these guys, they just come in at the last minute, start screwing everything up and messing things around to suit them and their purposes. And they have the money to do it. And so at that point, we're at their mercy. And I'm hoping that as a lot of this stuff that Trump is working on comes to fruition, and we start seeing that there's a lot less fear. This brings me to Dragon Chain. Joe sent me a message the other day. He was like the CEO of Dragon Chain, and I was really bullish on Dragon Chain back in the day, man. And then the SEC went after them, and basically Dragon Chain had to spend so much of their money defending themselves in court that it thwarted the entire project. And it really makes me sick. And I'm sure it makes them sick. And I would love to see this administration do something to rectify some of the damage that was done to what I believe, in my opinion, were very quality, worthwhile projects that got, I don't know what the word is, irrevocably damaged by the efforts of the previous administrations. I mean, because it's terrible. It's terrible what's happened to some of these individuals, companies, you name it. They've all been victims of a lot of different things, different agendas. And I'm hoping that those days are gone. I'm hoping that that's not happening anymore. I'm hoping that this live stream starts soon, because it's 2:09. This was supposed to have began quite a while ago. Still waiting. Maybe I need to check Truth Social. Did Trump say anything? I'm going to look and see if there's any announcement at all, because this is getting silly. Half hour late. I mean, come on. Come on, man. 37 minutes ago, to the great farmers of the United States, get ready to start making a lot of agricultural product to be sold inside of the United States. Tariffs will go on external product on April 2nd. Have fun. Well, he's been tweeting this stuff 37 minutes ago. So my hope is that he's tweeting that stuff as he's getting hair and makeup done for his live stream here any minute. So we'll see. Am I the only one who can't get any YouTube video to play? I don't know. Who are those market makers exactly? Well, here's the thing. The market makers, there are hundreds of them. Like this isn't, I mean, it's funny too, because I have books. Where are they? Let's see. I've got books everywhere. How to beat the market makers. I dabble in all of these. The market makers matrix. I'm always trying to better understand how the market makers work and operate. But the reality is, folks, there are hundreds of these guys, maybe even thousands. If you look at all the different exchanges out there, not only will you have like internal market makers for the exchanges, if they're not using the liquidity pipeline of another larger exchange, then they generally have their own in-house market makers. And then inside of that, when you launch a new crypto project or you're listing a new crypto token, you can either hire your own market makers to manage that account for you to keep the price moving and to keep the price competitive. Or you can pay like the in-house teams at the exchanges to do it. And, you know, I mean, that's all these guys do. They're sitting there trading and they're provided all of the liquidity necessary to maintain the market structure. And that's what they do. And so, you know, it's a big, big hustle. It's a big, big game. And, you know, like these exchanges have a real big leg up because they know where everybody's limits are. All they have to do is move that price to where these limits are. So, you know, I don't know how legal that is, but, you know, the way these markets move, there's got to be something. There's got to be something happening. And I really don't believe it's very legal. Being able, and maybe it is, I don't know, but being able to use inside order book information. Now they can say, well, the order book data is a public thing because you can look at the order books right there. The bot that I just finished making this morning can pull in and machine learn the order book data, which is what I'm trying to use in confluence with other indicators for price prediction and analysis. Because what I want to do is I want to turn it into an automated trading bot. Right now, its accuracy, I think, was around 73%. So, yeah. Let's see here. Cardano still at a discount. You're not the only one who can't. It's completely natural. I don't know what you're talking about. Will iTrust give us ADA holders the midnight drop? I have no clue. I would assume so, but you would want to contact iTrust Capital and find out directly, because it all depends on how they're set up. Crow, you got a course on market makers? No, I don't have a course. I haven't created a course. If you really want to know, if you want to learn like from somebody that I truly believe is one of the best out there. So there's two individuals that I believe are like unreal. One of them isn't as active anymore, and it's Jacob Canfield. And Jacob and Mark Mosh used to be partners in a big trading thing. I totally overlooked it back in the day. And, you know, there was some controversy about some stupid shit with Jacob. And he just said, you know what, screw it. I don't need this. I'm rich. I'm going to do my own thing. And he just kind of left. But other people, such as Trade Travel Chill, she is all, I've talked to her numerous times privately. She's always credited Jacob for her learning market making and understanding the markets and technical analysis and everything else. And, she has a course that's very, very good. So if you go to Trade Travel Chill, she has a course. And I mean, if you're wanting to learn how to trade and you're wanting to learn how the market makers work and think, man, join her course. That's all. I get nothing if you do. Just really value her a lot. And she's one of the very few YouTubers. I've been pushing her forever because she was doing stuff on TikTok. And I'm like, you got to go to YouTube, man. Take this to YouTube. And she finally did. She's been growing. But she literally travels all over the globe and trades. That's what she does. I mean, she's just a boss. So yeah, like if you really want to learn, don't learn. I wouldn't advise anybody learning like technical analysis or any of this stuff with me, because honestly, it's not that I don't know. It's not at all that I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that there are other people out there that know a hell of a lot more, because it's all they do. I have my hands, I'm doing so many things all the time that I'm constantly just flooding myself. Because I have to. It's just kind of how I'm wired. It's how I've always been. Me sitting down focusing on reading one book at a time is like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'll have like a book that I'm reading in the office, a book in the bedroom, a book in the bathtub, a book in the bathroom. I'm always doing stuff. And in the midst of that, I'm always listening to a podcast, or I'm watching something, or I'm working on projects like building a website for this or building that. I've always just go. I don't know any other way of being, because if I don't do that, I start to get really bored. I get really anxiety riddled, and yeah, it's just not good. So the investment announcement doesn't have anything to do with crypto. It's about chip manufacturing. I know that's a part of it. What did Michael say? Michael, buy a daily DCA is optimum for crypto due to the volatility. Fire every day and forget. The long game is years and decades. Bitcoin was a penny. Now it's 90,000 after 17 years. Yeah, man, I hear you. Thanks for the tip there, Michael. And I agree. That's true. I always generally tell everybody just average in, average out, because you just never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And at some point, you're going to get an average price for everything. If you have your own Roth IRA, you would get the airdrop. I created mine using Broad I personally hold and manage my own coins in my Roth IRA. It's a similar setup. It's the same thing as I Trust Capital, basically. You manage it yourself. So it's all through like an entity membership type deal that you create through I Trust Capital. So yeah, it's the same thing. We have Ben Cowan for RTA. Is Ben like a technical analyst though? I mean, he is, but like not in the sense of a trader. Like he's more of like a macro analyst, as I understand it. I mean, from everything that I've seen. And I did that one video where I was like, I disagree with Ben, and I don't even think he actually watched the video. He just got kind of perturbed by the headline. And then like the reaction that some people that also hadn't watched the video were reacting to on like Twitter and stuff. And he wasn't too happy. And we started talking. I'm like, dude, watch the video, man. There's no reason for you to be upset. I love Benjamin Cowan. Like I always have. I mean, folks, I was a fan of his work before any of you even knew who the hell he was. If you remember correctly, I was the one that pulled him on my channel, trying to get him exposure to help build him. And like I was trying to give him some advice and different things. He was so good that he's got almost like 1 million followers. If he hasn't broken 1 million by now, I don't know. So, I mean, he went from having just like a few thousand people to just exploding all over crypto over a period of a couple years. Look at me. I've got like 155,000 subs on YouTube. I hardly ever grow at all. So it's just like, I know that my algorithm hates me. And I don't do a lot of the clickbaity stuff, and I don't do a lot of the flashy trash edits and all that. Oh, here we go. We're about to get something. Yay. All right. So here we go. Let's finally watch this daggone thing. Okay. I'll get rid of my ugly mug. I wish there was a way I could change this so that I was like on one side or the other, but you guys don't care about seeing me so much anyway. I wouldn't. I'm not that pretty. All right, so they're actually doing a feed. So I'll bring that back when they actually start saying something. G-Buzz. We like you because you are honest and don't do all that stuff. I appreciate that. No, there's no audio. Oh, wait.
Check one, two, check one, two.
Let me see here. I'm going to change my...
Audio check one, two. Hey, hey. Good. All right.
I had to change my audio settings a little bit so that you can hear it clearly when they actually start talking. Trump stamp. That's good. Well, these headphones really feel not so great. I'm sorry for you Caspa holders, but I really doubt that's going to happen. You have to crow your own way. Crow your own way. There's so much happening between now and May, folks. If you think this is it, you're nuts. May is going to be a pivotal month in crypto, and if you're not in by then, you're really going to be missing out. All my coworkers bought ADA and now tune into Crow. Thanks, brother, for all you do. Well, thank you, Cowboy Crypto. I appreciate the plugs and you know, trusting me with your friends. Shout out me and my buddy Andrew, bro. Please. Been followed forever. Well, there you go, Antonio. Shout out to Antonio and Andrew. Shout out to Diana, my Colombian goddess friend. Crow watch party. Here we go. There's still nothing happening. I've got the audio. You can hear him fiddling around. I'll throw it up on screen as soon as somebody stands in front of this podium and starts saying anything worth a shit. I'm not heavy into Caspa. I believe in Cardano more than anything. Only want ADA at this point. I mean, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I just sold my SUI tokens today. And I sold, I had some stable tokens. I had to pull a little bit out. I just basically, a lot of the random stuff that I picked up, I just sold chunks of that, just to, you know, basically give me another like 5 or 6 months of headway, so I don't have to worry about money and bills and things until this thing, you know, like, do we peak in May? Like, what's happening? You know, are we going to peak in July in the altcoin market? Does Bitcoin peak in May? I'm just trying to figure all that stuff out. And yeah, so I dumped a little bit of it. Not a lot. I didn't sell my main Cardano or anything like that, so don't you worry. How long should I hold ADA this cycle? What's up, Hosky? Don't buy Hosky. I think Hosky's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There's a handful of meme coins that I think are cute and fun, and they're community driven, and they're like legitimate for what they are. Snack Hosky. But it's all these degen meme coins on Pump and Solana that I have a real problem with. Hey Crow, glad to see you're killing it. I've been watching you for years. You got me into Cardano at 3 cents or 30 cents, and was still here at 2 cents back when your goal was 50K ADA. Thanks for the great. Wow, that was a long time ago. I remember my very first Cardano buy in 2017. I thought it was a big deal to buy 15,000 of these things. Man, have times changed. Quantum Hosky. I wonder who owns quantumhosky.com. I wonder what asshole bought that up. I told Charles, I'm like, dude, you got to buy this domain. I mean, I waited like a few days and he never picked it up. And so I went and I bought it. I'm like, it was still available. So, and I told him, I'm like, listen, I picked up this domain. So if anything gets serious, let me know. Yeah, I own the quantumhosky.com. I'm selling it for $30 million. Or just like, you know, 1 million ADA. I'll sell it for 1 million ADA. How's that? Does that sound fair? I'll be holding until I retire. I'm only 43. Well, weldy weld, I assume you have a Roth IRA with iTrust Capital then, don't you? Bro, you remind me of Hopper from Stranger Things. Is Hopper the sheriff? Are you kidding me? I think I like Negan better. I'd rather be Negan. I lost everything in Ada Dump earlier today. Positions liquidated. Oh, dude, what were you like? You had to have been at high leverage. Don't ever trade more than 3x leverage, people. That's if you want to be. I use BitUnix, and I'm in a 3x long position that I've been in since like above 100,000, and it's still fine. There's a link in the description if you want to trade. I trade on BitUnix and I trade at 3x. And that's it. Is what it is. I never really feel like I have to worry too much about liquidations that way. And yeah. Honestly, I see Hopper vibes. You guys are going to make me look this guy up because I can't remember who he is. He is Hopper. Oh, look at you guys in chat blowing up with this Hopper shit. I see how it is. Oh boy. Do you have a video that goes over iTrust? Yeah, there are some. Uh-oh, audio's kicking in. Does that mean something's coming? Oh, somebody hit a button. I don't trust third parties to hold my crypto. I know, I have a problem with that too. But you do manage it yourself. And the reality is that to do what iTrust Capital has done, you've got to have a lot of licensing, a lot of compliance, a lot of stuff in play. It's not like they can just take your stuff and run. Although I used to think that about Celsius Network also. So, but look where he is. Somebody from the Celsius camp messaged me at one point, and I still don't think, I don't know if it was him or not. I'm like, how? I don't know. I thought it was kind of a weird message. I didn't know if somebody had like hacked his account or what. 8 into the moon. Looking forward to March 7th. March 7th is going to be big. I just think from here on, man, I think whatever's happening right now, I think that they're just filling this CME gap, man. And then I'm hoping that we just start really cranking. I really do. And then we'll see what Trump has to say. He might just be talking about semiconductors. He might just be talking about Taiwan, or he might not. I don't know. But I do know that you guys need to check the links in my description. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is my little I have like 8 Python books at this point. I still don't know how to code Python yet. I buy this shit because I'm like, there's going to be a day that I'm going to want all of this stuff readily available when I really hit the ground hard. So I have so many books. I mean, I still have books downstairs. All my books are not on this bookshelf. I am a book addict. I cannot go into a bookstore without spending at least $200 on books. It's a weird thing. And on top of that, even though I don't even really read them anymore, I always buy a copy of 2600. It's the weirdest thing, man. It's almost like that Mel Gibson where he has to always buy Catcher in the Rye. Should I go long on Ada now? I will not tell anybody to do anything. I don't ever really feel comfortable doing that. CME is 50% filled. We'll probably get there before the end of this live stream. I work for the federal government and I specifically deal with microcircuits, and it's a hot mess keeping counterfeit parts out of the supply chain. Ooh, interesting, Ada Warrior. Interesting. I never thought of that before. I bet that would be. Well, it looks like we've got a Cardano use case right there. The worst thing is Bitcoin maxi haters shitting on Ada. Why are they so mad? I totally agree. I posted about this on X today. I'm like, I feel like you've got the Bitcoin maxis who are these like self-righteous cypherpunks, cypherpunks, and they just think that their shit doesn't stink. And in reality, it's just so much easier to put all your eggs in the Bitcoin basket because there's it's digital gold. Yeah, it has a significant value, a store of value use case. Great, wonderful. It planted the seed for everything today. But if it's such an ignorant stance to like dump on everything that's not Bitcoin and to be shitty about it, because the reality is that the altcoin market fuels Bitcoin's growth to a large extent as well. So it's just, I don't know, it's silly. And then you've got the Solana group, who I just look at them like, I hate to say this, I know this is going to get me flamed, but it's the truth. I look at the Solana ecosystem like the liberals of crypto. Everything's smoke and mirrors, everything's a bunch of lies. They buy into all of it as long as they think it's going to serve them in the end, and they don't care who gets hurt in the meantime. I mean, that's just how I look at it. It's my opinion. Sorry if it triggers you. Maybe check your blood sugar. I don't know, but I'm just like, that's the way I look at it. And then you see the Cardano ecosystem, and for the most part, we're all very inclusive. Go figure how that works. We're all very much like, why can't we all work together? That's the whole point of this. This is all about interoperability. This is all about all the things that benefit us all together as we continue, pushing this technology forward. And for whatever reason, Cardano's the one that just every other major chain hates. And I just think it's because they know it's superior in absolutely every way. It's grown organically into what it's become based off of its technological prowess that only continues improving and getting better. And, it's just like, rather than join the ride and share in its growth and its accomplishments, people still, I just saw something, I don't even remember who he is. He's some douchey guy that does these like thumbnail videos in like a bathrobe in the dark, and he's got this look like he's like on the cover of a romance novel. And I'm just like, who is this douchebag? And like, he's a big Solana guy, and he just thinks he's just hot shit. And I'm like, man, you guys are out to lunch. So I don't know, man. It is what it is. H-bar holders. I like H-bar, honestly. I do like H-bar. But it's really taken these guys forever to get this thing kicked off. Bitcoin's market cap dominance has come back up. It's sitting at 61%. Interesting. Price is pulling up a little bit. It's about 87,152. Cardano's down to 87, 88 cents. All right, I'm going to close the hill because they're not doing anything. Wow, an hour late for this. Unbelievable. I love Iagon. I can't wait to get my Cyclone. I can't wait. I'm going to put it right. I don't know. I might put it like right here. I might replace that book and put my Cyclone in there. We'll see. I don't know how hot they run. I don't want to, I have to play with it a little bit. Ada hate comes from the fact that they didn't let market grab it at the beginning. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely some of it. No, I don't know anything about that shitcoin. Sorry. Am I getting shitcoin spam in the chat? Why not switch channels? Because this is live. Like, I'm watching it, I'm seeing it. I haven't switched channels because all of them are showing the same thing. Well, they're not even all showing the same thing. This is the only feed. Everyone else is still saying soon to come. So, do you like XRP? Yeah, I think XRP is fine. I've never had a problem with XRP. I used to be a big holder, but then the SEC just kept doing its shit, trying to basically keep XRP down. And like, listen, man, I mean, it's a centralized chain, but it has its purpose. And I have no problem with XRP. I really don't have any problem with any blockchain that isn't using toxic, manipulative, just harming people. I really don't. I don't care what chain it is. I don't care if it's a Cardano competitor. I just don't like the influencers I don't like the people that are benefiting themselves at the expense of their viewers spreading bullshit. That's what I can't stand. And when a blockchain is filled predominantly with bullshitters who, just based off of the fact that they ignore everything that counters their bold claims of goodness, profitability, the best chain, and all this other, they're all full of shit. So, and the only people that are still supporting those are the ones that they got in early and are just hoping and praying. And they're just looking for that constant daily fix of tell me I was right, tell me you were right, show me you were right, don't show me anything it's all a play, folks. It's all a play. And that's why I've just, out of all these years, I've just been focusing primarily on Cardano. It's one of the only chains that has proven that it merits my attention, and yours for that matter. And it's one of the major reasons why everyone else is trying to shit on it every chance they get. They don't want that. They don't want such powerful competition working against their personal gains. And that's basically what it boils down to. Tough shit is what I say. Well, they moved the camera a little bit. So I'm assuming somebody's getting ready to come out of this door someday. Someday over the rainbow. We'll put it on the door too. That way we can all see them come out together. Today at 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:15. Bitcoin's never been manipulated so hard. Yeah, I kind of agree. When will Apex be on other exchanges? I know Apex Fusion is working on that right now. I know for a fact they are. So the Apex is going to be coming, and they're going to continue building liquidity. They're going to continue building listing partners and all kinds of stuff. It's definitely going to happen. I think Iagon is going to outperform ADA easily. I don't know. We'll see. There are definitely going to be. I have some new Vola. I still have them. I don't have much. I think I have maybe 5,000 of them. I haven't even checked. I have tokens that I keep forgetting about. I haven't even checked. I probably have a bunch of other tokens that Nivola has paid out as like some form of dividend since I picked it up. But yeah, it's gonna be a struggle. I'm gonna have to figure out where all my tokens are. Trump about to walk out with Zelensky holding hands. Somehow I doubt that. It would be funny though if that did happen and Zelensky was wearing a suit this time and had a smile on his face and was just like, "Thank you, Mr. President, for all of your help and support." And then he just started twitching. Somebody took him in a back room and popped him with some kind of chip that made him like respectful. I can only imagine the entitlement Zelensky has at this point, just basically getting so much from the previous administration, and then he gets a new one and he's like, wait a minute, where's all this money you guys keep throwing at me? It's like a spoiled child, like, just keep it coming, keep it coming. What does he have, like 12 houses or something like that? Zelensky's loaded, and I would love to see where all of that money comes from, all his cars, and yeah, it's all a little silly. It's all a little silly. Well, I would love to see Trump just walk out with like a Cardano logo hat on or something. That would be great. Uh-oh, here we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is a very big day for a lot of reasons, but this gentleman is a very unique man. It's, I think I could say in the world of chips, certainly, but in the world pretty much of business, nobody's done what he's done. For those of you that are into that world, you would say, wow, he's a legend, but he is a legend, and it's an honor to be with you. Very great honor. Thank you very much.
Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Welcoming from TSMC, which is the biggest there is at a level that you can't even calculate, frankly. CC Wei to the White House for a very historic announcement. This is a tremendous thing for our country and hopefully for his company. We're also pleased to be joined by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and White House AI and SIP, the crypto czar David Sachs, another two very highly respected people. It's great to have you guys involved. And David, thank you very much for coming on. David is sort of the king of intellect in that world. We have some good people. Today, Taiwan Semiconductor is announcing that they will be investing at least $100 billion in new capital in the United States over the next short period of time to build state-of-the-art semiconductor manufacturing facilities. I think mostly it's going to be in Arizona, which is what I understand, which is a great state. I like it because I won it, but I won most of them, actually. So, but I did. We won it, and we won it big. The most powerful AI chips in the world will be made right here in America. And it'll be a big percentage of the chips made by his company. But as you know, they're based mostly in Taiwan. And they're far and away the biggest. There's nobody even close. This $100 billion in new investment will go into building 5 cutting-edge fabrication facilities in the great state that we just discussed, Arizona, and will create thousands of jobs, many thousands of jobs, and the high-paying jobs. In total, today's announcement brings Taiwan Semiconductor investments to about $165 billion they've started already. Among the largest new foreign direct investments in the United States, Apple, as you know, made a big announcement last week of $500 billion, and we have some others that have announced. We have many that want to announce. But I don't have time to do all of these announcements, I tell you. But for you, I'm doing the announcement.
Thank you.
This will create hundreds of billions of dollars in economic activity and boost America's dominance in artificial intelligence and beyond. Semiconductors are the backbone of the 21st century economy. And really, without the semiconductors, there is no economy. Powering everything from AI to automobiles to advanced manufacturing. And we must be able to build the chips and semiconductors that we need right here in American factories with American skill and American labor. And that's exactly what we're doing. As you know, Taiwan pretty much has a monopoly on that market. And I think pretty much is not a term that's even appropriate. They do have a monopoly. And this is a tremendous move by the most powerful company in the world. It's a matter of economic security. It's also a matter of national security for us. And at the same time, Mr. Wei will be able to diversify and have his a tremendous presence in another place and a very safe place. And I want to thank Taiwan Semiconductor for doing the announcement. And I'd like to ask Mr. Wei to say a few words, if you might. And I'd also like to ask Howard and David, you can say a couple of words, but maybe you should go first because right now, he's the most important man in the room. I'm sorry, fellas. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great
Mr.
honor.
President.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit nervous, so I have to pull out my piece of paper. Mr. President, Secretary Lutnick, and David, I didn't know that your title, but okay. First, I want to say thank you to Mr. President to give me this opportunity to announce our big project in the U.S. TSMC is the world's largest chip manufacturing funded by Dr. Morris Chang in 1987. It's now at the forefront of semiconductor technology, supporting AI advancement and industry growth. In fact, I would like to wind back the time that in 2020, we have to thank President Trump's vision and his support So TSMC start the journey of establishing the advanced chip the manufacturing in Arizona. And now, let me proudly say, now the vision become reality. In Phoenix, Arizona, with 3,000 employees, we are producing the most advanced chip made on U.S. soil. With the success of our first fab, so we are now very happy to announce we are going to invest additional $100 billion US dollar in addition to our current $65 billion US dollars investment in Arizona. We are going to build 3 more new fabs after we promised 3 fabs already, and another 2 very advanced packaging fab, and most important, R&D center also in Arizona. For this, all the investment, $165 billion, is going to create thousands of the high-paid jobs, as the president just announced. And we are, most important, actually, we are going to produce many AI chips. We are going to produce many chips to support the AI progress and to support the smartphones progress. And again, with that, I want to thank President Trump again for his support. In addition, I also want to thank my customers in the U.S., such as Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, Broadcom. They all support TSMC's manufacturing in the U.S. Without their support, we probably cannot make it through. So again, I want to thank them. Also, I'd like to thank the TSMC's employee. Without their effort, we just cannot make it today. That's all I want to say, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Howard, please, David? Sure. Thank you.
So I'm thrilled to be here today because President Trump has made it a fundamental objective to bring semiconductor chip manufacturing home to America. Under the Biden administration, TSMC received a $6 billion grant, and that encouraged them to build $65 billion. So America gave TSMC 10% of the money to build here. And now you're seeing the power of Donald Trump's presidency, because TSMC, the greatest manufacturer of chips in the world, is coming to America with a $100 billion investment. And of course, that is backed by the fact that they can come here because they can avoid paying tariffs. So the idea is come to America, build greatness in America, build for the American customers, the Apple, NVIDIA, that whole list that Chairman Wei gave in order to bring production to America. So we're really, really excited. This continues the most incredible path you've ever seen in these first weeks and months of the Trump administration of incredible manufacturing coming to America. The keys that the president has called out are coming here. They're coming here in huge size because they want to be in the greatest market in the world, and they want to avoid the tariffs that if they're not here, they'd have to suffer. So I want to congratulate C.C. Wei for bringing in this incredible $100 billion investment, but it's on the shoulders of our President Donald Trump, which is why he's coming. So thank you.
Thank you. David?
Thank you, sir. Well, the products that TSMC makes are literally the most important products in the world. I mean, these advanced chips power everything. They power AI, they power your phone, they power your cars. And without them, the whole modern economy would stop, but they're not made in the United States. So for TSMC to move here is a huge, huge development. And we owe that to President Trump's leadership on the economy and Secretary Lutnick as well. And CC, thank you for coming here. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Get back over here and keep talking.
Thank you very much. A big percentage of chips with this investment will be made now, a big percentage Worldwide, we had very little, almost none. We used to have a lot with Intel, but we had very little. And we'll be at close to 40% of the market
Wow.
with this transaction and a couple of others that we're doing. That's a tremendous leap.
Any of you saying that's
Like
a
a leap
nothing
that
burger
nobody
is
would
nut.
have really said was possible. So I just want to thank you all for being here. If you want a couple of questions, ideally on this subject, yes.
The number of jobs that will be created. He said thousands, but you have a better.
You're probably talking about 25,000 jobs, but it'll get bigger and bigger with time. Knowing this gentleman, it'll get bigger and bigger. There'll be no stopping him.
Mr. President, what more?
Brian, go ahead.
In addition to the jobs, you talked about national security, and that's one thing I think a lot of Americans at home don't understand. Explain the national security aspect of this.
Well, without the chips and semiconductors, nothing runs today. You can't buy a car without them. You can't get a radio, a television, nothing. You can't get anything. And we thought it was very important, obviously business-wise, but we thought even in terms of national security to have this large percentage of the chips, semiconductors, and other things that they make the most important product, and not a product that you can really copy. It takes years and years. You know, on the needle of a pin is total genius. I mean, they can put things, I mean, something the size of the needle, the point of a pin, they put information that is just not even believable. So if you would see this, it's just really something. Yes, Brian?
Mr. President.
One aspect to that, Honda announced they're coming to Indiana because of the tariffs. Once again, bringing additional jobs and manufacturing. You want to comment on that as well?
Well, Honda's coming, and I told you about Apple, that they're going to be starting to build massively here, $500 billion. And we have many other companies going to be announced, but we had many that have already announced. And no, it's going to be great. It's looking really strong. I don't think this country has ever seen anything like we're seeing right now. Now, the tariffs, as you know, will start a week earlier than the reciprocal, which is going to be on a couple of weeks earlier. Reciprocal tariffs start on April 2nd. And I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to go April Fool's Day, because that costs a lot of money, but that one day. But so we're going April 2nd. But very importantly, tomorrow tariffs 25% on Canada and 25% on Mexico, and that'll start. So they're going to have a tariff. So what they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States, in which case they have no tariffs. In other words, you build, and this is exactly what Mr. Wei is doing, by building here. Otherwise, they'll build, if they did them in Taiwan to send them here, they'll have 25% or 30% or 50% or whatever the number may be someday. It'll go only up. But by doing it here, he has no tariff, so he's way ahead of the game. And I would just say this to people in Canada or Mexico: if they're going to build car plants, the people that are doing them are much better off building here, because we have the market. We're the market where they sell the most. And so I think it's going to be very exciting for the automobile companies, very exciting for, I can think of any, as an example, North Carolina, they had the grid. I used to go there to buy furniture for hotels, and it's been wiped out. That business all went to other countries. And now it's all going to come back into North Carolina, the furniture manufacturing business, please.
Mr. President, is the Ukraine minerals deal now dead, or can it be revived? What's your...
Well, I'll let you know. We're making a speech. You probably heard about it tomorrow night, so I'll let you know tomorrow night. But no, I don't think so. I think it's a great deal for us because, you know, Biden very, very foolishly, stupidly, frankly, gave $300 billion and $350 billion more accurately to a country to fight and to try and do things. And you know what happened? We get nothing. Just gave it. We could have rebuilt our entire U.S. Navy with $350 billion. Think of it, $350 billion. We could have rebuilt our U.S. Navy. So he gave it away as fast as the money could be gone. And what we're doing is getting that all back, and a lot more than that. And what we need, it's very important for this business that we're talking about here with chips and semiconductors and everything else, we need rare earths. And the deal we have is we have the finest rare earths.
Mr. President, what do you need to see from President Zelensky to restart these negotiations?
Well, I just think he should be more appreciative, because this country has stuck with them through thick and thin. We've given them much more than Europe, and Europe should have given more than us because, as you know, that's right there. That's the border. This country really was like the fence on the border. It was very important to Europe, and I'm not knocking Europe. I'm saying that they were a lot smarter than Joe Biden because Joe Biden didn't have a clue. He just gave money hand over fist, and they should have been able to equalize with us. In other words, if we gave $1, they should have given. Well, we gave $350 billion. They probably gave $100, but on top of it all, they get their money back because they're doing it in the form of a loan, and it's a secured loan. So when I saw that, which I've known about for a little while, I said it's time for us to be smart. At the same time, it's great for them because they get us in the country taking the rare earth, which is going to fuel this big engine, and especially the engine that we've in a very short time created, and we get something, and we're there. We have a presence there. With all of that being said, I want one thing to happen. I want all of those young people to stop being killed. They're being killed by the thousands every single week. Last week, 2,700 were killed. 2,700 young, in this case, just about all young boys from Ukraine and from Russia. And that's not young people from the United States, but it's on a human basis. I want to see it stop. The money is one thing, but the death. And they're losing thousands of soldiers a week. And that's not including the people that get killed every time a town goes down or a missile goes into a town. And I want to see it stop. Yes.
Are you considering canceling military aid to Ukraine? And can we get a reaction to what the Prime Minister said, that your administration is bringing U.S. worldview in alignment with Moscow's?
So this is a deal that should have never happened. This is a deal that would have never happened. And it didn't happen for 4 years. It didn't happen. It was never even close to happening. If I were president, it would not have happened.
I'm getting kind of tired of hearing that,
October 7th would not have happened in Israel. And inflation wouldn't have happened. And Afghanistan, disastrous. The way they withdrew, not the fact that they withdrew, but the way they withdrew would have never happened. And we would have had Bagram right now instead of China having it. It was 1 hour away from where China makes their nuclear weapons. We would have kept Bagram, with one of the biggest air bases in the world. All of these things happened, and it's a shame. But it is what it is, and now we're here. I want to see it end fast. I don't want to see this go on for years and years. Now, President Zelensky supposedly made a statement today in AP. I'm not a big fan of AP, so maybe it was an incorrect statement, but he said he thinks the war's going to go on for a long time. And he better not be right about that. That's all I'm saying.
This project, could this minimize the impact of the U.S. with chips should China decide to isolate Taiwan or China decide to take Taiwan?
Well, it's a very interesting point. It's a great question, actually, but this would certainly, I can't say minimize. That would be a catastrophic event, obviously, but it will at least give us a position where we have, in this very, very important business, we would have a very big part of it in the United States. So it would have a big impact if something should happen with Taiwan.
Russian sanctions, are you looking at relieving Russian sanctions if there is a peace deal?
Well, we're going to make deals with everybody to get this war, including Europe and European nations. And they've acted very well. You know, they're good people. I know most of them are friends of mine, the heads of state, the heads of the various countries, prime ministers from the different. I got four prime ministers and 5 presidents called me over the last 2 days, and they want to work it out. They want to get it worked out. And I think they're also, you know, they're talking money, but the money is less important than the deaths. We're talking thousands of young people a week. And people would say, why do I care about Ukraine, young people? Why do I care about, and not all young, but they're pretty young. You know, Ukraine is running a little bit low, and they're getting older. They're recruiting older people. It's a very, very sad thing that's happening over there, and we want to get it finished. We want to stop the death.
On the tariffs, is there any room left for Canada and Mexico to make a deal before midnight, and should we expect those Chinese tariffs, the extra 10%?
At midnight.
No room left.
Before midnight's launched.
Mexico or for Canada. No, the tariffs, you know, they're all set. They go into effect tomorrow.
And on China, Mr.
President, just to follow up on my colleague's question.
And just so you understand, vast amounts of fentanyl have poured into our country from Mexico, and as you know, also from China, where it goes to Mexico and goes to Canada. And China also had an additional 10, so it's 10 plus 10. And it comes in from Canada and it comes in from Mexico, and that's a very important thing to say. Yeah, please go ahead.
Have you decided if you're going to suspend military aid to Ukraine? Have you made that decision?
Well, I haven't even talked about that right now. I mean, right now, we'll see what happens. A lot of things are happening right now as we speak. I mean, literally, as we speak, I could give you an answer and go back to my office, the beautiful Oval Office. I could go back into the Oval Office and find out that the answer is obsolete. It's like his business. It's obsolete. You come up with a new chip and it's obsolete about 2 minutes later, right? But that's what's good about his business. That's why he's the only one that's successful in it. But
just to follow up my colleague's question, from Russia saying that your foreign policy is largely in line with their vision, should that be concerning to Americans?
Said what?
Should that be concerning to Americans?
Read the statement.
That Russia says that your administration's foreign policy is, quote, largely in line with their vision.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it takes two to tango, and you're going to have to make a deal with Russia, and you're going to have to make a deal with Ukraine. You're going to have the assent, and you're going to have the consent from the European nations, because I think that's important, and from us. I think everybody has to get into a room, so to speak, and we have to make a deal. And the deal can be made very fast. It should not be that hard a deal to make. It could be made very fast. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal. And if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long because I believe that Russia wants to make a deal. I believe certainly the people of Ukraine want to make a deal. They've suffered more than anybody else. We talk about suffering. They've suffered. But if you think about it, under President Bush, they got Georgia, right?
You got
Russia
4
got
days,
Georgia.
people. 4
Under
days.
President Obama,
4 days.
they got a nice big submarine base, a nice big chunk of land where they have their submarines. You know that, right? Crimea. Under President Trump, they got nothing. And under President Biden, they tried to get the whole thing. They
President Biden, I love it.
Big Ukraine, the whole thing. If I didn't get in here, they would have gotten the whole thing. So I can only say you can go back to Bush, you can go back to Obama, and go back to Biden. They took a lot. The only one they didn't get, you know what I gave them? I gave them anti-tank missiles. That's what I gave them. I gave them sanctions on Russia. I gave them javelins. You know the javelins? You know when they took out all those tanks? You know the tanks were heading to Kiev by the hundreds, and they were unstoppable. And I gave them javelins. So, you know, I really, Putin is the one that will tell you this has not been so good for them. The fact is that I just want fairness. I want fairness. But think of it. I gave Russia nothing except grief. I gave them nothing. I gave them sanctions and javelins. That's what I gave them. Obama gave them sheets, and you heard that statement before. It's a very famous. Trump gave them javelins, and Obama gave them sheets, and then they say how close I am to Russia. And let me tell you, we have to make a deal because there are a lot of people being killed that shouldn't be killed. But remember, Trump gave them nothing, and the other presidents gave them a lot. They gave them everything.
Trade, you met with Argentine President Javier Milei at CPAC. He wants to sign a free trade agreement with the United States. Is that something that you would consider even with Argentina or any other country?
Anything. And Argentina, I think he's great, by the way. I think he's a great leader. He's doing a great job. He's doing a fantastic job. Brought it back from oblivion. Yeah, well, look at things. We're looking at the UK with things. It doesn't have to be tariffs, but tariffs are easy. They're fast. They're efficient. And they bring fairness. For instance, when people kill their dollar, their equivalent of the dollar, whether it's the yuan or the yen in Japan or the yuan in China, when they drop them down, that puts us at a very unfair disadvantage. So all I have to do is say, Howard, we're going to have to raise the tariffs a little bit because I've called President Xi, I've called the leaders of Japan. to say you can't continue to reduce and break down your currency. You can't do it because it's unfair to us. It's very hard for us to make tractors, Caterpillar, here when Japan, China, and other places are killing their currency, meaning driving it down. So all of these things add up. And the way you solve it very easily is with tariffs, because when they do that, instead of having to make phone calls every day like I used to do with certain leaders, President Xi a little bit, a lot of phone calls, talking about the fact that they're lowering their yuan, they're lowering it down, and that makes it very, very hard for us. So this way I just say, look, let them do that, and we make up for it with the tariffs. But
Will you be speaking with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum about her?
yeah, sure, I will. I have a lot of respect for her. I have a lot of respect for her.
Are you
Mr. President, take effect. It'll be 20% on China now. How high are you willing to go against China?
Well, I can't say. It depends on what they do with their currency. It depends on what they do in terms of a retaliation with some kind of an economic retaliation, which I don't think they're going to retaliate too much. Hey, look, the United States has been taken advantage of for 40 years. The United States has been a laughingstock for years and years. That's why this gentleman is built in Taiwan instead of building here. It would have been better if he built here. If we had a president that knew what they were doing, and we had a lot of them very bad on trade. Look, I'm a huge fan of Ronald Reagan, but he was bad on trade. Very bad.
I'm seeing there's a lot of bots in chat trying to like
people, a lot of business
create FUD.
And so
it's
I say
weird.
that with due respect because he was so great on other things, but he was bad on trade. We are setting records right now, records like nobody has ever seen before. When you have companies like this coming in, and almost 40% of their company in one signature is going to be devoted to what he does, which is one of the most important businesses in the world. That's an unbelievable thing. When Apple now is going to start building all of their plants here, all because of what we've done in terms of, it's not because he likes me or they like me. They don't probably like me at all. I don't know. I think he likes me a little bit at least. But you know what? It's the incentive we created. Or the negative incentive. I mean, it's going to be very costly for people to take advantage of this country. They can't come in and steal our money and steal our jobs and take our factories and take our businesses and expect not to be punished. And they're being punished by tariffs. It's a very powerful weapon that politicians haven't used because they were either dishonest, stupid, or paid off in some other form. And now we're using them.
Have you spoken with President Xi about this term?
I don't want to tell you that. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
About Andrew Cuomo running for New York City mayor.
Will people who don't respond to the emails be fired?
I swear these people. People who don't respond to the emails be fired. Maybe. All right, so that was the speech. Far from a nothing burger, obviously. There's a lot happening. A lot of you guys are worried about the charts and things. Folks, there's so much going on. Why is Cardano pumping now all of a sudden? That's interesting. I can... where is it? There it is. Yeah, that's Cardano right now. Pumping. You know, I think a lot of you guys just need to relax, honestly. I mean, yeah, you know, there's a lot happening. I get that. It's not always super comfortable. I get that too. But, you know, there's so much happening right now as we continue moving forward in this market. It looks like the CME futures gap is about to fill. So that will be done. Hopefully we then can start getting a recovery. Maybe we fill this and then we go sideways for a little bit and head into a Wednesday reversal, which is common. But I think you guys, you got to calm down. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Man, I've got a headache after doing that blood draw today. But listen, you know, we've got midnight coming probably in May. We've got Bitcoin OS. That's the CME futures gap is about to fill like right now. So that'll be cool. And then, we'll see what happens after this, but maybe I can pull that up in a little window for everybody for the time being. That way you can watch this happening. Let me zoom in a little bit. Look at that. It's feeling solid now. I mean, it keeps touching it. So yeah, CME futures gap is filling, and then hopefully we'll see what happens. We'll either wick through it, maybe we close under it, we go sideways a bit, and tomorrow, and then Wednesday maybe we'll get a good early reversal in the market, and everybody can start breathing a little easier. But between now and May, folks, if you're thinking that selling is the best answer, listen, you've got to do you. I would never tell anybody, hold, buy the dip. It's just not my way. If you are so freaked out that or you're new to the space, if you're that freaked out, then do what you feel is best. I'm not selling. I'm holding until, I'm holding it at least until May, probably into June and July. We'll see what happens around that time frame. I'm going to be looking at all of the different Bitcoin market peak indicators to see if any of them are triggering, and then we'll go from there. But I'm not overly concerned. There's just so much institutional play in the market right now, folks. We've got Cardano ETFs in the lineup. We've got a lot of stuff happening. Midnight coming, Bitcoin OS, all of these things that are going to be creating these direct pipelines between Bitcoin and Cardano, XRP and Cardano, probably lots of other projects, potentially another 37 million people being brought into the Cardano ecosystem in one way, shape, or form through the Midnight airdrop. There's so much happening. So just hang tight. We'll see how it all goes. CME futures gap is officially filled. It only had to go down about 1.66%. We're there. So, we'll see. Maybe the sky is falling and everything Trump is doing, maybe all of this legislation, all of this stuff that's happening. Maybe it's all a big psyop to take all your money. I don't know. I don't think so. I think there's a lot happening, and I'm pretty proud of it. I think we're heading in the right direction. We've just got to get some of these worms out of the system first. And that's to be expected. If we're going to get a big God candle on a weekend when the rest of the market isn't able to do things, well, they've got the power to bring that price back down for their order books and their records. So that's that for now, folks. Thanks for joining me. Till next time.